I can do so much more as an entrepreneur with someone that supports me. They're cooking for you, or they're making the plans, or they're working around your schedule because they're not as busy as you.
This sounds exclusively like a female experience. I think all women practice hypergamy.
I completely disagree.
You disagree that all women practice hypergamy?
I don't.
Oh, let's get to it. One thing that bothers me about modern dating culture is, as a man, it feels like nothing should bother me.
Guys like to keep a door open. That door.
You think guys like to do that more than women?
Oh, men love that door open.
I'm sorry. Women keep doors open more than men do. By far, bar none.
I don't know. It depends.
Oh my gosh, Amber, no. Yeah, but I think being an entrepreneur puts you down paths where sometimes you have to get harder or else you can't survive.
100%. It really does.
No more than dating. Some would argue dating is the ultimate area where entrepreneurs maybe have different experiences than others.
100%.
So what is our first prompt?
Is it hard to date as an entrepreneur?
I think yes.
You do?
I think yes.
Why?
Because just time, people don't get your lifestyle. So I think I gravitate more to people that understand my lifestyle, that are also entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
However, then we're trying to coordinate schedules.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like difficult in itself. So they might get it, but you might not see each other.
Define entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is anybody who works for themselves?
Yes, I guess so. I mean, some people are more to one side to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, entrepreneurs are truly somebody that can't stop. Like they just they're going and they're on another level, right?
Yeah.
But there's scales to it, I think. And so I always gravitate to at least someone that works for themselves. Mm-hmm. But lately, I've been seeing the benefits of not seeing someone that is like for themselves. Yes, because they can support me in all of my aspirations.
Break this down for me. I want this. Break this down for me. I want to go here.
Okay. So, I think that, I've been, weighing the pros and cons of dating, an entrepreneur, which I love and I'm used to.
Okay.
And then I'm seeing the thing that, I can do so much more as an entrepreneur with someone that supports me and all of the things that I'm doing because they're cooking for you, or they're making the plans, or they're working around your schedule because they're not as busy as you.
This sounds exclusively like a female experience.
Okay, I could see that. Wait, hold on. No, but you're not dating entrepreneurs.
I date all types of people.
Okay.
First of all, I would argue I do date entrepreneurs.
Okay.
I would argue. First of all, I would argue that I do date entrepreneurs.
Do you? Okay.
I date women that are private contractors.
What type of private contracting are we talking about?
I date women that are private contractors.
What type of private contracting?
Like what type of private? Are they
bottle service girls?
Some of them. Some of them work in the entertainment field. Yeah.
Are they a lash tech?
Some of them work in the aesthetics field. Yeah.
I don't know if I call that an entrepreneur, but
That's definitely an entrepreneur. I am an individual for whom I punch no clock, and my money is exclusively based on my individual efforts on a day-to-day basis. It's entrepreneurism if I've ever seen it. I don't know why that's entrepreneurism if I've ever seen it. That's entrepreneurial to me. Okay, for example, let's say a woman hasn't had a definable job in 5 years.
Okay.
She's not been married either.
So
her whole life has been, I hop in and out of nightlife lounges. I meet men. We come to arrangements and understandings where I'm able to be compensated properly. My rent gets paid. Is that an entrepreneur? Is that entrepreneurial?
I wouldn't call that an entrepreneur. I would call that a hustler.
Okay?
I mean...
So to you, there's a difference between an entrepreneur...
And
what is the difference between an entrepreneur and a hustler?
I'm not saying I don't respect the hustle.
You know a couple. That's why this is why.
I do know a couple.
There we go.
And I respect the hustle.
Yeah.
And you can't,
Can't knock the hustle.
You can't knock the hustle.
Right.
But I don't know if she would understand the ins and outs of the entrepreneurial life.
She would.
Okay, so she would be able to relate to you waking up at 4 a.m. to look and study the markets and not staying in bed, or
maybe she doesn't. Maybe she wouldn't identify with early morning market assessment, but she would identify with you got to go when the money's going. She'll identify with hours that aren't fixed. Like a
Oh
floating
my
schedule.
god.
No, am I wrong?
That's crazy.
No, because okay, so
You gotta go where the money's going.
you gotta go where the money's going. Sometimes,
that's wild.
or for example, as an entrepreneur, you know this. I have a belief in the early stages of you building your career. I say yes to every meeting, every instance, and opportunity to meet someone, to network, to offer a favor, to be of service. You try and say yes to all those things. I would argue that a woman, like we're describing, a hustler, understands you got to say yes to every opportunity. You never know which opportunity is.
Okay, but if you are seeing her,
Yeah.
she is always going to be looking for the next opportunity because there's always someone that's going to have more money than you do.
I know. I think all women practice hypergamy.
I completely disagree.
You disagree that all women practice hypergamy?
I don't.
Oh, let's get to it.
I don't. Are you kidding me? I don't go to where
All women are looking to find a partner that advances or maintains the status quo of what they think they should live
but
like.
if there is a guy.
And the only reason why women don't keep trading up is because they value loyalty. But every woman
Okay,
dates
there
on
you go. You
hypergamy.
took that point out of my mouth. Because if
A woman will go to the most hypergamous loyal man. She won't pick the richest guy if he's going to cheat on her.
exactly.
But she will take the richest, most loyal guy.
Okay, that's
A more
that's
loyal
fair.
man with less money, she'll trade up if that guy's in a range of loyalty.
in a range of
In a
loyalty.
range of loyalty. There are ranges of loyalty I'm seeing these days.
What does a range of loyalty mean?
I don't know. I think a lot of women make dating relationships on like public reputational damage. So sometimes the guy's not great. Maybe there's not great communication. Maybe he's not emotionally present, but she's not publicly embarrassed by being with him and he's willing to provide a level of financial support that she believes in. She'll make that choice. As opposed to a man who's more emotionally stable. I see a lot of emotionally stable men getting left behind by men who are more financially stable. I think that's maybe what I'm trying to say, if I'm trying to give a through line there. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of is it easier or harder to date as an entrepreneur, I think it just ranges, right? Like I remember when most entrepreneurs that I know, they started their business part-time.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like you don't usually just start out full-time. Yeah. When I was a part-time entrepreneur, so I'm working my sustainable job to maintain my bills and it was hard to explain why I was giving time to my business because everybody's like, well, it's not making you no money. I remember that. I remember the idea of
everyone goes through that earlier phase when people are like, what are you doing? You're crazy. You're wasting your time. Let's go. And they can't relate to that. And there's a time where you have to distance yourself from those people.
Yep.
Sometimes you cut those people out of your life.
Yep.
And that's where that transition happens.
But it was hard dating there. I remember, for example, I used to be so addicted. When I first started trading, I was so addicted. Like I was looking in the markets all the time. And I used to have a girlfriend where we had a standing appointment to watch The Bachelor, which is like on Mondays, I think. It's Mondays on ABC. I still remember. And I remember one time we were together to watch, but there was a trade that I was so interested in. So I had my phone in my hand and it was a big fight. She's like, why are you still on your phone? You got to come off the phone. And I said, look, this is an opportunity. This is something I think that will help me not be in a 9-to-5 situation. I didn't know how to put the phone down. Like I understand we have time, but in a way we have to just kind of be present. And I hope you can understand that. I remember that being a big fight and the time. Yeah, that time difference was difficult for me then. Then when I'm out of that and you're an entrepreneur and you're doing it full time, I don't think people don't understand the fear. It's not the fear. It's the healthy understanding of how thin this line is to walk. Mm-hmm. Of the extra time commitment, of the extra burden of responsibility, and of how much I really just want our time together to be emotionally neutral. I want you to be a constant and safe space.
Calm. Mm-hmm. Calm because you're always in a state of like hustling, lots of energy, all of the things. So you want a calm space.
It'd be nice, yeah.
Right.
But I find those things difficult.
So then if you're dating an entrepreneur and you both have that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see like it's chemistry. It's like there's a lot of chemistry in dating an entrepreneur. Like it's like you're always going, you can like bounce ideas off each other. But is it calm and is it a safe space? Because really you're always at 100 with an entrepreneur. It's hard.
Yeah, like I've done it one time and I think we became competitive a little bit. We weren't partners anymore. We were like always at a business convention, trying to compare numbers. It wasn't, and I would like to think we were young too. Yeah. I'd like to think it's gotten healthier. But in my experience, as an entrepreneur or as someone who was entrepreneurial or as someone who had that energy, I've always found it, wow. Well, considering my new definition of entrepreneurial, yes, I do date entrepreneurs, but in a more but in a more traditional sense. I think as a man, I don't know that I have that luxury to, or I don't know that I've had the experience to express a difference in the two. I think for me personally, regardless of who I'm with, what they're doing, and I hear my friends and their dating experiences, I do feel like I have a harder time dating. Somebody asked me the other day, "Oh, how come you're not in a relationship?" And I said, there are times where I don't feel as emotionally available because my business takes all my emotional energy. And they said, you should not be emotionally wrapped up in your business. And I said, I don't know how to not be.
You can't turn it off when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You need to have someone that gets it.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
And like an understanding partner. So like as I've dated lots of entrepreneurs.
Lots? Hey, if you are one of the entrepreneurs that dated Amber, mail in. We want to hear from you on the next episode of
Oh, brother. If you have dated me, I mean, I can grill you right now. It'd be a really interesting show.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, you just go back and forth and the chemistry's there because like it's always exciting.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if it's like calm and you have a moment to like be peaceful so you can get back at it the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a different perspective I'm thinking of recently.
Mm.
You know, I don't know if it's the correct perspective, but it's a perspective.
Okay. And you know what? I like that. And on that, our next prompt.
What is one thing that annoys you about modern dating culture?
I think that nobody's committed to anything.
You think that's a modern dating culture thing?
No, you know what? I lied. I think so. No, they're
I know a couple guys went to Woodstock in the 70s that would disagree.
Okay, but I know, like, I feel like back in the day, people committed way easy. Yes, I'm sure that there's still an array of the Woodstock folks, but people got married way younger.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to, like, commit these days. Now, there is a group of people, because obviously I'm in the engagement business, and I get clients their proposals, but I notice there's a type of person that are proposing.
Ooh, okay, what's the type?
Like they live a slower life.
Okay.
Like they live a more calm life.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something to that. And then I see the folks that are like some of my friends and people that I actually enjoy spending time with and all the fun people, those people are like, they're like on to the next, they're jet setting, they're vacationing. And it's hard to commit when you are in that way of life because you're always seeing the next shiny thing.
Hypergamy. One thing that bothers me about modern dating culture is as a man, it feels like nothing should bother me.
Okay. It
just feels like the modern dating culture idea is if you're a man, you should be unbothered. So like if you've taken a girl out on a date, granted, she's not your girlfriend, but you've just gone out on a date and a day later you see her out on another date with another guy.
Yeah.
You can't be impacted. You can't. And I'm not saying you see, I'm even doing it now. I mean, you shouldn't. But like, you can't, like, it's like you can't be, your feelings can't be hurt. If you are talking to a girl, if you've dated her multiple times and another guy, but you're not quote unquote her boyfriend yet, and another guy makes an approach and buys her a gift or takes her on a trip, you can't be mad about that. Like the onus and responsibility is, hey, if you didn't want her on the trip, you should have made her your girlfriend, which feels kind of unfair to me. But
why does that feel unfair to you?
Why does it feel unfair to me? I think because everything's a process, right? So if we're like, if we're on a road, right? Let's say you have to cross 10 steps before we become boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
It feels unfair to me that if we're on step 1 of that process, or step 7 of that process, at any given time, because I haven't made you my quote unquote girlfriend, that entire process could be undone by you being available to somebody else.
Okay, but often women do this, speaking from like experience, because they don't know where you stand or they don't know if you're dating other people. So often women do this as like an emotional, like, you know, defense to protect themselves. So there's been so many, you know, beautiful women that I know that have been like, I really enjoyed having, you know, a date with this guy, but I don't know where we stand. So I've had my heart broken so many times. So I'm going to keep on dating until I know he's my boyfriend, because I don't want to have my heart broken and being left again. So like, this is a defense mechanism for so many women.
I'm going to say something. This statement's going to get us canceled today. But I
no?
think it's true. I don't necessarily agree with this. I just know it's true modern wise. I think the cost of dating, the social cost of dating multiple people is more for women than it is for men. So if I see a guy go out on a date with one girl and then the next day I see him out on a date with another girl, I think the social cost to that guy as well as the women he's gone out with is less than if the reverse. So what I'll say is this. If a guy goes out on a date with 5 different women from Monday to Friday, and we all see him on a date with 5 different women,
Yeah.
and the following week he pops out with one of those 5 women as his girlfriend, I don't think that there's a level of embarrassment for her. I don't think there's a level of embarrassment for him. I think just assume, yeah, this guy dated around, he picked this girl, he liked her. If same concept, one girl goes on a date with 5 guys, and then she comes out and says, yeah, I picked this one guy as a boyfriend, I think the world will shame them. And they'll ask this guy, like, how are you like, you were on rotation. I don't know why. That's just the sense I get. The sense I get is that there's a more social cost for a man who picks a woman who looks like was dating multiple people than a woman who picks a guy who looks like he was dating multiple people.
I think that she sounds like she's smart because she's protecting herself.
I'm not against it, like, okay. I should probably be clear that some of my personal views, but what I think I know about the world don't always match.
Yeah.
So I believe that, look, everybody should be able to do whatever they want on its core, but society doesn't treat us that way.
Sure. But women have to be smart about how they're doing things. Like, I mean, if you develop a reputation around town that you are out with every successful guy out there, you're going to develop a reputation 100%. Like, you're not going to be a respectable woman. And that is society putting that on it. But if you are, careful the way you do things and you are specific on how you choose things and maybe where you go, then, and there's a classy way to do things, then you can do things. And I think you can still protect yourself. Yeah.
I just think, when the modern dating thing, I just think that the concepts of what it is to quote unquote know the game just feels like it's gotten outrageous.
Yeah.
Like both men and women alike, the single friends I have and the stuff that they just have to accept. Like, you know what? That wasn't my boyfriend at the time. Or you know what? That wasn't my girlfriend at the time. And the list of things that they have to just flat out accept because of that.
It's ridiculous.
It feels unfair. So maybe I wasn't just saying for a man or a woman thing. The nature of the game just feels so unfair. It feels like you're either my boyfriend or my girlfriend. If not, I don't have to respect you. And then even another level, if we're not engaged, there's a level of respect I don't have to give you. It just feels like respect is no longer
a given.
It's like earned through levels of graduation.
Yeah.
And that feels so like, I just don't know the human experience through these titles of.
I think it's crazy that people don't respect each other. And this is the whole thing where like there's ghosting and all of this nonsense. Like, in my opinion, if you don't like somebody, just straight up be like, you know what, it was nice to get to know you, but like, I'm just not feeling this, whatever it is. Like the fact that like I know grown men that are like in their 40s that are running around and they can't communicate that like, you know what, I'm dating multiple women. I decided to choose this one or, whatever, and just have a conversation with people. The fact that nobody has this respect with one another or can communicate is just crazy to me. And they're like in their 40s.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think that on the context of guys like to keep a door open. That door.
You think guys like to do that more than women?
Oh, men love that door open.
I'm sorry. Women keep doors open more than men do. By far, bar none.
I don't know. It depends.
Oh my gosh, Amber, no.
Let me tell you, all the men that have doors open with me, I got a laundry list, and I mean I shut the door, but I'll tell you, they come knocking on that door.
Hold on. Is your assessment that men keep the door open on past relationships more than women keep the door open on past relationships?
Yeah. 100%.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And you're putting that opinion on camera?
It's on camera.
What you're saying is so far from the truth, it almost astonishes me that you were able to get it out. Women spin the block. Okay. Women are not the aggressors. Okay. So it's not like they're going to be sending the messages, but women will receive message from any guy from any part of her past at any time if it fits her purpose in the moment.
Yeah, but guys
That's
do
keeping the door open.
Guys do the same thing when they're like, this is not working out for me. Oh, let me go back to where she is. And then they slide into the DMs.
Yeah, I'm curious.
They're liking
I want to see how you're doing.
They're actively liking your pictures.
Yeah, 'cause I'm curious how you're doing.
Dating other people just to like be like, I'm engaging, we're still friends.
We are friends.
We're not friends.
Why aren't we friends? You don't want friends?
I'll be friends with you, but I mean, I'm not friends with them. Like, I'm like,
Why? Why can't we be friends?
because the door is shut firmly
The door,
on my end.
yeah, romantically, but we can still be friends. Why can't we be friends?
Because
You're a good time. I like hanging out with you.
Because if the ending of that story
Yeah.
ended up as not friends, we're not friends and the door is firmly shut and not for you to wiggle your way back.
No. So we went on a couple dates.
Yeah.
We thought that there was romantic subtext there.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't meet each other's standard. Maybe we didn't have the same perspective about dating. Maybe we weren't moving at the same pace. Okay.
Right.
So we like that we're not going to consistently make that investment towards a possible romantic future.
Right.
That doesn't mean we're not friends.
Did the really big difference is, did you have a conversation that those are the things that you're feeling? So is, you know what, we're not on the same page, or I want to date other people or whatever. Did you have that conversation? If the answer is no,
Yeah.
we're not friends.
Okay. So what is the alternative? Like he just stopped talking to you?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if a guy just either stopped talking to me or didn't communicate and then started dating another woman, and then continued to keep the door open with me, that's shady. Shady.
Because he's messaging you and liking pictures?
It's shady. I'm like, get off my story.
But you're on Instagram. You're
I
public.
don't want your petty ass likes. I don't want that.
But why? I'm engaging with your content. You're putting stuff out. I liked it. Wow, congratulations. I'm proud of you.
I've got enough people engaging in my content. I don't want your likes.
I can't believe that this is being considered circling. So if a man, okay, this is why people have this whole rule about stop following this person on Instagram, something, because they think it's like a threat or like a gateway. It's only a gateway if you make it that way. We had our mature.
It is a gateway because let me tell you, if I had,
but it's not, because the men who you don't like approach you on Instagram all the time. They get a gateway to nothing but your non-reply.
Exactly, but I'm like, these guys. If I had a nickel for every guy that either, like, who knows, decided to fade away and date someone else, who then realized they were like, ooh, Amber's looking good.
Good, yeah, because sometimes y'all do be looking good.
And then it's like, and then they come back, and I'm just like, who are you? Like, who that? Do you think I have any self-respect? Go back, like, crawl back into that dark.
No, this is so absolutist.
Crawl back in that hole.
Okay, you and I go out for a little bit. For whatever reason, it doesn't work. I date somebody else.
Yeah.
That relationship is not going well.
Right.
You look good. And the last time we hung out, it's not that it didn't go well. We just went in a different direction. I'm not allowed to think you look good and say, hey, like.
No, I mean, you can think I look good, but I'm going to just secretly judge you just the whole time.
Why are you judging me? So I'm not allowed to ever date you if I missed on ever dating you.
Absolutely.
What? Hold on. What?
The door is closed.
So if I miss the bag, if I miss the door one time, never come back.
Only because I've went there, been through these experiences, and I'll tell you, if a guy is not certain in the beginning, this is going to go bad. You are signing yourself up for a miserable existence.
The other woman might have seemed like a better fit. She could have been. This happens on The Bachelor all the time.
It does happen, but I'm just saying, as a woman's perspective, when you take a guy back in that context, like from that situation, it seems as to me that like it just doesn't go well, because like that guy, I think automatically maybe he doesn't respect you much. I was actually having this conversation with a guy I know recently.
Okay.
And he's now engaged, but he was just
He probably got engaged after circling back.
He did not. In fact, he told me about a girl that really liked him, and she had all the packages, and she looked like Katy Perry, and she was just gorgeous and all of the things. And he's like, and I just couldn't put my finger on, why there was something a little bit off.
Yeah.
But then after a few months, whatever, she was looking good, whatever, they reconnected and they started dating again. And then same thing happened. It's just like, if there's something off, I think a guy knows, and then I think that they'll try and make it work because, damn, she's looking good. But like, if a guy knows, I think he kind of knows.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
They still might know that they want to like see what's up with her. Like, she looks good. She might want to. They want to hang out, but does he want to commit to her? We're talking about I'm talking about committed relationships right now.
Yeah.
Like, he knows if he wants to commit to you. He knows.
I just think as a guy, the reason why I'm spinning my wheels on this one a bit is I don't think there's many times in my life where I was interested in a woman and talking to her, but also wasn't very aware that there were other men vying for her time. Like,
right.
Hey, can we hang out on Tuesday? And I hear them, I can't Tuesday, but I'm free Thursday. I was always very aware that, okay, another guy has her Tuesday. I even used to do this thing with my friends where it's like, I call it work towards prime time.
Yeah.
It's like when you meet a woman, the first day she can give you like a Monday or a Tuesday, start of her week. But the closer you get to Friday, Saturday is the closer you're getting to actually being
so
her
crazy.
primary choice.
So
if a girl doesn't give me a Saturday after 4 weeks, I can tell the other guy's winning. He's whooping my ass. I either got to step it up or accept that I don't got the juice.
That's wild.
But it's true.
It's wild.
Do you spend Saturday with a guy that you don't actually really like?
Saturday's just another day for me, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, pero okay. Friday, Saturday night. These are the nights of the best probably events, the best things to do for fun. All the new movies open on these days. You do not spend those times with people that you don't really like.
I think I've spent a Saturday with you.
I assumed you really like me.
Yeah, I do. No, but you know what? So when I first moved to Toronto,
yes,
and I was like this small town girl, I went to college with a guy who literally was like, and he would refer girls to like days of the week based on how like pretty she was, and I was like, and he would be like, I'm not even kidding. I swear to God, he would be like, she's a Wednesday. She's only a Monday. I'm not even kidding. The things I've learned coming to this damn city.
He said this out loud to you?
No, we would go actively talk about it. I've been friends with the guy for 10 years. He still calls them like, he loves.
He does it now?
Yeah, to this day. He's like, he loves a Wednesday. A Wednesday, like she's like top tier. Wednesday is like middle of the week.
What does that mean? I don't even know what it means. Do we know what this means?
It's like a ranking system.
What's the highest day of the week for him?
He loves a Wednesday. It's hump day.
Wow. Okay. More to the point.
I'm into a Thursday.
Things that bother me about modern dating. But it goes to my point. I think that the primetime date thing is fine. And it goes to my point. As a man, I've always accepted if a woman is talking to me, she's probably circled back. 100%. There was another guy she was talking to, she took a good honest look, and whether it didn't work or like there's always factors. I just try to exclusively focus on my interaction. That's what I always used to say. I said, I exist in the world between when I get you from your front door and when I get you back. Whatever happens on your life on either side of that process is your own until we're committed to one another. And
I also think that there is like something to say about the quality people that we're dating here. Like, because like, there is a certain type of woman that has a full roster, and then
every woman has a full roster.
No, that's not incorrect.
Okay, every woman has a full roster because, and this is like you can deny this if you want. I know every woman has a full roster because every single woman I know on any given day of the week with 10 minutes notice could invite a guy to get her out for dinner.
That doesn't mean she's a roster.
Okay, why is that guy doing it then?
What?
Why is that guy on 10 minutes notice? I'm very specific.
10 minutes.
10 minutes notice, able and willing to not only book, plan, pick you up and pay for dinner. Because
it goes back to the situation where there's always a guy hovering.
Which means which means it's a roster you're maintaining. No, because if he wasn't close, he wouldn't be available on 10 minutes notice.
No, he's just waiting for her to give him a chance. That doesn't mean.
So you're not maintaining that roster?
No, I'm not maintaining it.
It's maintaining itself?
I don't have a roster.
If I asked you right now,
listen, I have men that are ready to just like creep up at any time.
If I
don't have time to have a roster.
Do you have dinner plans tonight? Do you have dinner plans this evening?
I have a.
Not the work one.
No, I have no dinner plans.
You have no social dinner plans this evening.
I'm planning on crawling up with like a giant pizza.
If I bet you $20 that you could message any guy in your phone.
That's a bet.
And get dinner plans tonight.
100%. It's a bet.
Would a guy be able to? Would you find a dinner partner for tonight?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, and that's not a roster member?
It's not my roster.
Where'd you find the guy from?
These men are just like hovering.
And if I need you to do it again tomorrow?
Yeah, I could do it anytime I want because
And that's not a roster.
that's not my roster. There's just guys.
Am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? How is that not a roster?
These are the men that are hovering. You're proving my point. They're hovering around, just ready for me to give them a chance. Doesn't mean my roster. They want to go on a date with me.
But if you gave these guys no attention, they wouldn't be available to you for dinner.
No, they're waiting for the attention to be given.
Don't not agree with this. You agree with this?
What?
So you think there are men that have such low self-respect? I'm saying it like this. There are men that have such low self-respect that you could ignore them for months. But if you message them today on 10 minutes notice and said, hey, I'm free tonight, you want to do dinner? He'll say yes.
Let's go. Men want what they can't have.
You're nodding as well? Yo, everybody is agreeing with this point. Are you serious?
Men want what they can't have.
Not on 10 minutes. I'm not saying, okay. I'm not saying I wouldn't be down. Not on 10 minutes. On 10 minutes notice, you're disrespecting me.
Okay, well, like, I mean, how close do you...
I'm not doing dinner with a woman that I don't regularly talk to with less than like a day or two's notice.
Yeah, but
Like if you message me today and we haven't talked in a while, I'm not free till Wednesday. I don't care if I'm at home. I'm not free till Wednesday. Because I think it makes me look wild.
Right.
That I was just sitting around waiting for you to acknowledge my existence. That is utterly preposterous.
Yeah, but you have like a lot of like self-respect.
I think we all do.
We don't all do.
Everybody's nodding no. I'm not
saying that I actively do this, but if I wanted to, I could.
I just think that the knowledge of that is a roster.
That's not a roster. I don't have a roster going.
Okay, so then, but if I said, hey, any given night, any day of the week, I can invite out a woman with romantic subtext, you wouldn't accuse me of having a roster.
So because of like the social media presence and all the guys I've dated in my past, whatever happened, like maybe I got into a relationship and so that one didn't work out. Maybe we went on a couple of dates and it just fizzled. We had this conversation, right?
Yep.
So then those guys they're on the gram. They're just like, they're waiting. They're seeing what you're doing. They're seeing the glow up. They're enjoying it. And so like, yeah, you could actively message them, but you haven't spoken to them. And they're like, hey, what's up? I've been seeing you doing well. Like, let's go out. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying I say no to let's go out. I'm
Yeah.
not going out tonight if you message me today and we haven't talked.
Depends on how badly they want to go on a date with you.
I don't want anybody bad enough that they could ignore me for a month to 2 months.
What if it's not ignoring though? Like, what if you just guys haven't connected and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm actually free tonight. Like, why don't we just like grab a drink?
But then we're already friendly. It's not like this whole fizzle out dating thing we
No,
haven't
but
talked.
like, the thing is these people, they actively like your stories. They'll reply to.
Are you liking back?
No, they just like they'll just.
So then you're ignoring me.
What do you mean liking? You don't. It's what if the guy doesn't.
If I
post?
like, okay, can I tell you
Half
this?
the guys don't post.
I have a ratio. If I can like your stories,
Yeah.
first of all, okay, let's say you post a story and I give a fire emoji.
Yeah.
You have 3 responses that don't include letters before I realize you're ignoring me. So if you give a fire emoji and you double tap it, the heart.
Yeah.
If I fire emoji or heart eyes emoji or whatever emoji to your story and you go 3 times in a row without responding with words, just double tapping, you're ignoring me.
Okay, but what if you just like the story? Like you can't engage back to it.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah, so like there's those people that are like engaging.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. If I'm just liking your stories, I'm probably not interested enough that you can ask me out to dinner on a day's notice and I say, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's fans.
All right, we have to move on.
Do you care how much someone you're dating makes?
No.
That's a tough question. Yes. I mean, I don't think I have a number in my mind
Yeah.
or anything like that, but can you take care of me?
You're already coming up with things that are numbers.
No, can you take care of me? That's
Well,
not a number.
you know what it costs to take care of you. So you do have a
No,
number.
there's not a number. No, I don't know that.
I can take care of your morning coffee every day for the rest of our life. $4.50.
No, I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it, Terrell. So meaning, like, I have provided myself a certain lifestyle in which I travel. I like to travel a certain way. I like to enjoy, like,
Yeah, so
whatever.
keep doing it.
I do it for myself, but if I'm going to date somebody, you need to be able to do it for me. So like the same
But why?
thing.
You're already doing it for yourself.
Because I don't want to have to do it for myself one day. At one point, I'm going to take care of your children, and maybe I'm not going to be working as hard one day.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I understand this. and this is where I say that, this is where when I talk about all women are entrepreneurs, you're going to realize, because they say the same things. You've built a business for yourself.
Yeah.
You're good at it.
Yeah.
It has been so well endowed that you are able to generate enough income that you have the life that you want, which is maybe one of the most fulfilling individual pursuits, to put work towards a result that allows you to have the life that you want.
Yeah.
It's taken you years to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that in the presence of a man, you've done all those things so that one day you would no longer have to do those things?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Tell me what you're saying then.
I am saying.
That sounds really close to what you're saying.
No, I am not saying that. I am saying that if, for whatever reason, if I decided to like stop what I'm doing, if I wanted to, or maybe I take like 5 months off because I'm taking care of my children or whatever it is, I do not want to have to worry in life. I will never probably ever stop working.
Yeah.
However, if I chose to, I want to be in a position that I feel comfortable, that someone's like, I have your back and I don't have to worry. And you've been worrying for your entire life, Amber. You've been hustling your entire life. And now I've got you. And it's just more of a safety and a security thing. Do I ever think I would ever stop working 100%? No, I go cuckoo bananas. Like I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Yeah. But it is that kind of like peace that someone can provide into my life.
Okay.
Of like calmness, but it actually has nothing to do with like a number.
See, so this is why I make this statement that I do. 3 years. I've been, is it 3? Yeah, God, it's been 3 years. 3 years I've been traditionally single now. I have not met a woman that hasn't told me she wants to eventually not work or have the option to not work. It's however it's worded. It's either I don't want to work or I would love to, if the moment provides itself, not work. I have not met a woman not tell me that in 3 years, regardless of what they do for work, what they do for a living, how they got, it's a universal thing.
I think it has to do with just like a biological thing that like we want to feel that safety. And I think a guy can providing that safety, regardless of them ever actually taking that option, is like a nice feeling for women in general.
Yeah, because it provides security, right? Safety. It's
a safety thing. I think it's not like, you know, like it's not like that woman would necessarily take advantage of it, but it's nice to feel that way, especially like if anything happens in their life, like where like they get sick or whatever it is, they have someone that has their back. Yeah,
that's fair. I just, I just don't care what a woman makes or what a woman makes, because I've just learned it'll have absolutely zero impact on what the expectations are from me at all. Like if a woman makes enough money to go on a road trip to Niagara Falls, if that's what her, like, hey, I make enough road trip money for Niagara Falls, she'll still meet me and expect that we can travel the Caribbean. And then if I meet a woman that is making enough that she can travel the Caribbean on a nice cruise ship, she'll still meet me and assume that I need to replace the money she's spending on her traveling the Caribbean. So the requirements for me are the same. So that's why I don't care what a woman makes, like at all.
Well, I mean, I don't think we have the same, like, you don't have like that safety thing. Like you have a more provider mindset.
You never know, I could.
Yeah. I know you.
I know
you well enough to know that that's not the case.
I knew this one guy. He was in the oil business. It was a very romantic story. I'll tell it quickly. He talked about, oil prospecting. So you outlay a lot of capital and you're hoping to hit oil and you don't. And he said there was one time he was in a piece of land. He was digging all over the place, couldn't find oil, and he's running out of cash. I mean, the guy was damn near bone dry. And he had gone to his wife, and she could tell he was stressed or whatever. And she'd gone to the bank. She went to the bank. She got like a loan, some sort of line of credit or something like that. And she gave him the money. She goes, I believe in you, baby. You can do it.
Wow.
And obviously the story goes successful. He hits oil, blah, blah. Ray pays her back, lovely. The idea of a partner who was able to get into the trenches with him like that, I always found appealing. But so rare that I couldn't base an expectation around it. Because it is one thing to have the wife or the woman who has the capacity to go out there and put a credit facility in her name and help you. The advent of modern dating, I don't know too many women that want to. I don't know too many women that would want to say, you're in so much trouble that you need me to get a loan. I actually find this unattractive. I don't want to help. As opposed to her being like, I know who you are. You just need a little help. I got you.
My dad or my mom did that for my dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's rare.
It's really rare.
Because I would assume, and I assume, because the man who told me this was an older gentleman, so I assume the age range is probably the same. That is something, one thing I always think about is, and this was terrible. Ferrari was cheating on his wife. The original Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari, was cheating on his wife. He had a love child, but his wife did his books, and she was on the business until the day she died. He even said that. She ran my book. She was literally in charge of the money. She would tell him, Enzo, you can't do this. Enzo, you can do that. And even while he was cheating on her, and the thing was falling apart, but there was just that honor of like, you know what? I know who you are. Let's see if you can be it. I know who you are. Let's see if you can achieve that.
To believe in someone after them doing that to you, that's wild to me.
Is it?
It is wild.
To believe in somebody? I mean, look, she was hurt. The thing with her, I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I don't want to get too far down the Enzo Ferrari thing. She definitely took her pound of flesh for him having a love child. Like, there were certain things that child wasn't able to have until after she died. But my belief in you and your treatment of me aren't the same thing. I can believe in you even though you treat me bad.
No, because I think that how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Michael Jordan says, no way.
I don't care what Michael Jordan says. I personally have lived through experiences, and I'm like small town through and through, have given people so many chances because I want to believe the good in so many people. That's just naturally who I am. And what I've learned is that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so your character and what it stands on is like through and through so important.
I used to have that as a rule that like I would, until I met so many men cheating on their wives and realized that if I didn't want to work with anybody who I thought was immoral, I'd have no business partner.
Oh, 100%. And I know so many men cheating on their wives too.
And it's nerve wracking because it's like, how can I trust you when this is, but then it's a weird thing, when they talk about ethics and stuff, when you talk about the way you do one thing, generally speaking, majority of the time, and as a rule, if you're disciplined in one area, you're disciplined in another area. But I see a lot of people where they don't bear that out. I see them seeming very disciplined with their businesses, very disciplined with their stuff, and not showing any of that discipline in their personal life.
Yeah, but I think that you wouldn't 100% trust them the way that you might trust somebody that that's just like, they would never betray anybody you just know. Like, I mean, I'm sure you know a certain amount of people that are doing that, and you probably know other people that are like through and through, they wouldn't. And I think that you would probably trust those people a little bit more.
Yeah. But I also just believe that a hungry person does anything when they're hungry.
Okay. Okay.
I do.
So you think anyone's capable of cheating then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Given the unique set of circumstances that run across that individual, yeah, I do.
The circumstances.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody who says I understand if somebody says I've never cheated, and I believe that, but somebody who says I will never, I am incapable of, no, anybody can do anything.
Anybody can do anything, but I think comes down to character. It comes down to like...
Even people of great character can do anything.
Yes, but you can stop yourself with care. You can be in that situation.
A lot of the time, but anybody can do anything. I'm an absolutist. Anybody can do anything.
Okay, I get it. But you can stop yourself by self-control.
Or not.
Or not. You could not.
But I don't take that as a reflection of your character. If somebody cheats, I don't think it changes. If somebody cheats on me, honestly, I don't know that changes too much of what I think I know about them. Because what I think I know about them should be the result of a long tapestry, a long list. Let's say I know 150 things about you. Okay? And from the 150 things I think I know about you, I derive my feelings, my emotion. You cheat on me one time. So now one of the 150 things I knew about you is now untrue. A lot of times that one thing now mushrooms into other things. So maybe 5 of the things I knew about you become untrue because of that single act. I still know 145 things about you.
So, but if you're getting into a relationship with somebody or you're dating them do you think that they could have cheated on you? Like, do you think this going into it?
What I'm going to say is going to probably sound very, very morbid.
Okay.
It's going to sound very sad. Cheating in terms of like a one-off moment of pain and weakness. I think in a snap moment, anybody can make any decision. Cheating in the form of a long and sustained life choice, I have a harder time understanding because there's a consistency to that.
I agree with that.
But if a woman went out, hey, blah, 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 we had this, I went out and I was in a vulnerable state. This man had the right amount of game, the right amount of approach, and I had just the right amount of freedom that I made a terrible decision. I don't let that individual moment redefine what I think about the woman. A woman who comes to me and says, I've known this guy for 6 months. We've been talking. I lied to you when I went on this vacation. That's a different. Now.
Okay. I think then we definitely agree on the same thing. Because I don't think that like a one situation makes you a bad person. You have terrible character. We all make mistakes in life.
Right.
But repeatedly carrying on like betrayal over a long period of time, and you've concocted all sorts of lies.
Yeah.
That goes into someone's character very deeply.
Yeah, because you're a storyteller. Yeah, that's different.
A storyteller, yes.
That's different. But yeah, one-offs.
Okay.
I think anybody can do anything.
Do you care what your partner does for work?
Would you be with a drug dealer?
No.
Even if they had the money that you wanted?
100%.
So you do care what your partner does for work?
Yes, I do. 100%. I do care. Very actively, I'll loudly say that. I care what you do for work.
So are you the type that you ask, like, hey, what do you do?
Yes.
Do you ever ask a guy how much he makes? I was talking to a girl once, and she said that a guy within a couple weeks of dating, like he was I'm trying to figure out how much of the story I can tell. I'll tell the whole thing. He was like in social media. So he was showing her like the drops he was getting from different sponsors and showing her like, yeah, I make this much a month.
Oh, wow.
I think that's disgusting. What do you think?
I think that's so trashy. Agreed.
Okay. But then now we have to go back then. If you care what a guy makes, but we agree that it's trashy for him to show you exactly what he makes, how do you infer what a guy makes?
Well, I think it's just, it goes back to how they treat you and how they can sustain your lifestyle. Like if they're showing you and they're not making you question like all of the things that they can do for you, then I don't have any business like knowing what you're doing, how to provide that, like, or how much money you have in your account. All I know is that you're making me feel secure and taken care of, and that's what matters to me.
Okay.
What about you? Do you care about that?
I still very much care what people think of me and what people think of you as my partner.
Agreed.
So some of those public forms of income generation that require you to overproduce your sexuality, I have a hard time with, not because of you, but it makes me feel bad about myself. Because I think, well, I really do go to the mind of if I was man enough and if I could do my job enough and if I could make you feel secure and protected, you wouldn't have to do this.
I think that's a fair assessment, honestly.
So yeah, I care what my partner does for work while she's with me. I don't think I care what she's done before I met her. But once I'm with you, I feel like I want to be in a position to really impact what you do for work. Because if I can't, I'll feel bad about myself.
I know this firsthand about you.
Yeah.
I do care also. I think the optics of what someone does for work and what, like, how they carry on says a lot about, like, who I am as a person. Yeah. I'm in the proposal business. I'm in, like, the love business. So if I'm a little bit of a public figure. Yep. So I want people to, like, know that the partner that I choose reflects who I am as a person. Yep. So someone that carries, like, and not just about work, but carries themselves in, like, a way that, like, I would feel proud to bring them out to, like, events or things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I mean, someone that also, like, it appears to be successful, but, like, also, I also care it in context to, like, bringing them around my family because, like, I come from a pretty successful family. Yeah. And I want my dad to be able to have an actual conversation with the guy that I'm dating, and for it to actually make sense. Yeah. Because, like, if, like, my dad can, like, basically talk over you and you can't be a man, like, I'm just not going to respect you as much. Like, and that might sound really bad. I would never say that. I would never vocalize that.
And
but
here we are.
I am here. I would never say it to their face, but I know myself. And I'm like, if you can't carry on a conversation with my dad and be a man, I'm going to have a problem with that.
Do you care or want to know how many partners your current partner has had?
No.
No. Answer is a resounding no. Like,
strong no.
Why would I want to know that? That's just going to give me anxiety, like, to know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know. I would want, God, let's say you're with somebody, you and him go out publicly, and in that room are a couple women he's been with. Would you want to know then?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay, I would.
I want to know.
I don't want to daps up and hug this guy saying, yo, what up, and offer him drink and beverage and brotherhood.
You would just seem like such the chillest guy ever. You would be the chillest guy.
No, I don't want to seem that cool. No, I'm not that cool. I don't want to hug up a guy and I don't know. Like, here's the thing: if I know, I'll probably still what up, but I don't want to be like overly what up. There's an overly what up that happens sometimes.
I think I don't want to know because I don't want it to like change my personality, and I want them to be like, wow, she's so chill. And like at the end of the day, if I have him, he's my man. I won, so who cares?
I'll ask you this question before we close, just to tie back to your business. I think marriage statistics are going way, way, way down. Less and less people are getting married. More and more people are doing the common law thing. But, and obviously is with one eye towards driving additional revenue, what are the 3 main reasons that you would give our audience as to why they should think about traditional marriage?
I think commitment.
Yeah.
It feels like that level of security for people. It feels nice, whether you're a woman or a guy, to know that your woman, I mean, obviously there can still be cheating, but to feel like you have somebody and you have their back. And this can be like as a partner, like in relationship, your kids have the same name. If you want to have kids, that's important. If you take the traditional thing, I think that those are probably like the main reasons why I want to get married.
Yeah.
Stability and my kids having the same last name.
Yeah.
I feel that really strongly. If I was to get pregnant before marriage, which I'm fine with if that happened, unless I have a ring on my finger, I wouldn't give my kid the same last name of my baby daddy.
Okay, that's fair.
Because like, listen, I'm pushing this baby out, and unless you've given me some sort of commitment, I think it's a fair deal. I think it's actually a very smart business decision.
my argument, so I'll give a third. For men, married men actually make more money than single men.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah, they do. And I think it comes down to that. My favorite scene in The Dark Knight is when he has to make the climb and he says, you have to make the climb without the rope. How can you fight with it? And I see it even in my friends I talk to. Me right now, I'm accountable to myself. And sure, I want it for me and I do for me. But when I talk to my guys that, hey, I got my wife and I got my kid, the sacrifices that they become able to make and the things they're able to drag out of themselves with an allegiance to their family, I find impressive.
Yeah.
So if whatever level you perform at, the statistics do bear out that you get yourself a wife and kids that you love and believe in and care about, you'll drag more out of yourself. So on a purely compensatory basis, because you're
a business guy and you're a numbers guy.
Yeah, being married is incredibly emotionally. It's way more emotionally efficient. All great things that men do, I think, take time. So the great task of building a family and being good at that, I think, is incredibly rewarding. And yeah, it'd be very, very impressive to see what you drag out of yourself in that instance.
And you did say the importance of like having a safe space for a man, right? So that safe space is provided when you're at home and you can lay your head down and then you can get up and do it the next day in business. So there you go.
There you go. We did it. Opposites React. Thank you so much for doing this, Amber.
Yeah, thanks
Appreciate
for having
it.
me.